Didi, first of all, when we're normally talking about Germany, we talk about the meticulous and well-planned execution that goes into their World Cup build-up. That hasn't been the case on this occasion, and it's all down to an incident involving Mesut Ozil and Gundogan. Why has it become such a controversy in Germany?
Well, they had a photo taken about 3 or 4 weeks ago after the end of the Premier League when the Turkish President Erdogan was in London for a visit. And they had a photo taken with him and signed shirts to him to our minister or prime minister. And it wasn't, or hasn't been taken too well in Germany. These are two guys who play for the national team. They're both born in Germany. And people question their loyalty and the respect towards the country they do represent. And it hasn't been going away. Gundogan, he spoke about the incident. He said he was badly advised. He didn't really apologise. Ozil has not been speaking to the press since the incident happened. So today will be the first time for the German public to see him because he's in the starting 11. And it's been badly handled by the FA because I think it disrupted the preparation. It was something they always had to explain themselves.
Yeah.
And it wasn't handled well enough. And my worry is that there might be 1 or 2 players in the camp who would have questioned them and say, well, actually, you know,
where do your loyalties lie?
Where are your loyalties? What, you know, do you want to play for us? Do you want to be here? In Ozil's case, it's probably not a question because he's played a lot of games for Germany. He's been a very good player for Germany. Gundogan's only just arrived on the scene, but it's certainly something the public and some of the players, I would think, hasn't taken too well.
But do you think the issue has emerged from the actual photograph itself with President Erdogan, or is the issue more with what they had written on the shirt, to my president, with all our respect?
Yeah, I think if they only had taken the photo, they were probably honoured that he did it. You know, forget about.
I mean, they're
his
of Turkish origin. Let's
exactly,
face it,
and forget about his political record. That's something for other people to judge whether he's actually or should be in charge of a democratic country.
Yeah.
But I think it was what they wrote because, you know, if you're born there, if you represent the country, your prime minister, your chancellor should be Angela Merkel, not Erdogan. And I think this is why so many people in Germany weren't too happy, and a lot of these, you know, the 1 or 2 days after it happened, actually said they shouldn't represent Germany in the World Cup. So it calmed down a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah, Keith, we have lots of experience of players who are of Irish descent, who've been born in England, brought up in England, but they come to play for Ireland, but there never appears to be any doubt whatsoever about their affiliation to the Irish cause, certainly when they're playing football. Has that always been the case in your experience?
Yeah, I think if we flip this into our equation, and if it was happening to an Ireland team on the eve of a World Cup, there would be uproar, and there would be those exact same questions. If I was in that dressing room and that happened, I certainly wouldn't be happy, because when you declare for a country that's not of your birth, I think people are always a little bit sceptical, but you soon find out. Players come into the squad, what makes them tick, where their family holidays were when they were growing up, where their intentions really lie. And if something like this broke, certainly on the eve of a World Cup, it wouldn't go down well within a dressing room. And
Mesut Ozil in particular, we're more familiar with him because he's been around a little bit longer. He's not the sort of guy that puts himself out there in the media one way or another, Didi, is he? Or is he more obvious in terms of a profile in Germany than he would be here in Ireland?
Well, he's a very controversial figure anyway because of the way he does play football. You know, I think on his day he's probably one of the best in the game. But when it's not going well, you know, his body language sometimes is questioned, and how much he does fight for the cause actually when the chips are down. And I would never question a player's character. And as you say, he goes about his business quietly. He doesn't really give too many interviews. You don't hear any quotes of him too often. But I think in this particular instance, I think you had to say something because it's been an issue for the last 3 weeks leading up to the tournament. There have been 2 very bad performances against Austria where they lost and against Saudi Arabia. And it was just the time, or somebody should have told him, you know, go out there, explain yourself, and then we can finish it and we can move on. And Manuel Neuer actually gave an interview in the Bild am Sonntag, the Sunday paper, the biggest Sunday paper in Germany, giving an interview saying this is how we handled, or this is how we put the whole Ozil Gundogan saga to bed. So
within the squad.
Within the squad. So that means the FA felt the need So this interview would have been given 1 or 2 days ago, which is very unusual on a 2 days or 1 or 2 days before a major game, the first game in the World Cup. So they actually felt the need that somebody says it. Obviously, Neuer, as the captain, was the one to give that interview. And he said this is how we put it to bed, and I think they want to move on. I think they will move on. Gundogan got booed in the last game before the World Cup. There's not too many German fans, but there will be some today. I just hope they don't, because I think it will affect the players, it will affect the team, and the question is, how stable are the two players actually? Because nobody spoke about their welfare and their mental stability. There were reports that Gundogan was heartbroken when he got booed by his own fans a few weeks ago. So, you know, just don't hope we have lost two players because they're not in the right frame of mind.
But considering, Keith, how delicate the political situation is, particularly in Turkey, I mean, there was a certain naivety on the part of Mesut Ozil and Gundogan to allow themselves to be placed in a situation. Now, it did happen in London, it didn't happen in Turkey or Germany, and they were invited to this event, but it was a little naive of them, wasn't it?
Very naive, and I think you've hit the nail on the head in terms of it's not so much the picture, the photograph, it's the message that was written in terms of our president. You know, that's what's not going to sit well with the German public, German fans going into the tournament. But look, the game gets underway, quickly put to bed. I expect him to win today. Gundogan's not starting the game. Ozil's in. He's had his injury troubles.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll hamper them too much. No.